Hey all, got a short message for you today, only a short video, but I just wanted to share something that a friend of mine shared with me not all that long ago. He's about 30 years my senior, in his 90s, and I was visiting with him one day, and I catch up with him quite a bit, check in on him just to make sure everything's okay. And we were sitting down and just having a coffee and talking about life as we always do, about all the stuff we could fix in the world, and you know how it is. Anyway, he was about to get up and put the kettle on and make us a coffee. And as he was getting up out of his chair, he just all of a sudden just grabbed his side and he was, oh boy, he says, these aches and pains, they don't get any better and they just seem to be getting worse. And I looked at him and I sympathised with him because I know what he's talking about, even though I'm only in my 60s. But I said, boy, wouldn't you like to be 20 again? And he looked at me and straight away he said, no way. I said, what do you mean, no way? He said, nope. He said, I'd like to be 60 again. I said, why is that? He said, because at 60, I was financially free, I was fit, I still had all my friends, they were all still alive, and I was just having a great time. And I thought about it for a minute and I thought, boy, doesn't that make some sense? In your 90s, you get the chance to be 20 again in your past and you say, nope, I want to be 60 again. And I can see the wisdom in that because at 20, you still got your whole life ahead of you. You know, just remember back to when you were that age. I mean, you were looking ahead and things were probably pretty tough, especially financially, and you didn't know which direction you were heading in. You still had to make decisions about your life and what you wanted to do and be, um, and getting advice from all over the place about which tack you should take. So I thought about it for about 30 seconds, and then I just said to him, I said, that really does make sense, when you start to think about it, especially if you're, in your 80s, late 80s, 90s, even 100, and you get the opportunity to go back in time and do it all again, right back from the beginning. And, you think about it and gee, it just makes more sense perhaps to go back about halfway between that mark and where you are now. You've achieved everything you want in life. Especially, I'm talking to those people who have probably achieved everything they want and they've got everything they want. And as my friend said, he was financially free. All his friends were still alive, and he was just having a great time and enjoying life. So if you're sitting there wondering about your life and wondering if you had the chance to perhaps go back and get given another chance without knowing what you do now, how far back would you go? Would you pick a time that you were really flourishing as a person, things were going well for you, and going back to that time, or would you go all the way back to the beginning when you're a late teenager or in your early 20s and still unsure about what you wanted to do or be in life? So think about it. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. It's just a piece of advice that stuck with me for a long, long time, and it's one that I often think about. But I'm with my friend. If I had the chance, being in my mid 60s now, I'd love to go back to when I was around 38, 39, maybe 40. Is when I started to really make things work and make things move in life. And even though, in the recent video, I said I'd retired at 47 with $30,000 in debt, there's a reason for that. It's a story that I may share with you at some stage in the future. But no, things have turned out all right. So what's your answer to this question? So would you like to be, you know, 20 again? Or would you just like to go back a few years when things were going well and you were really making back on life? Put your answer in the comments, hit the like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow.